This low-resolution media query or this low-resolution wireframe layout has really come together quickly. We're almost done. We only have the news feed, which we're going to do in this exercise, this area here. And then, of course, we're going to have to adjust the footer, that space beneath the footer once again. So this is going to be a pretty quick wrap-up here for the low-resolution wireframe, as I say here. So let's go and take care of this, and then we can move on to actually applying some design and some formatting to the wireframe structures that you and I have created here. So go ahead and head back on over to styles.css. Before I start coding here, once again, if you want a bit of a memory jog, head back over to your HTML and take a look at how we decided to structure the news feed. I'm not going to jump back over there. I already did that earlier on when we were setting up the structure for the medium resolution media queries. So you can head back if you want to take a look. But I know that we used article, which is our HTML5 element, of course. I know that we used article, and I know that we also need a class rule called news. So I'm going to go and set these guys up. Now, sometimes, as a quick aside, sometimes what I'll do is I'll set up empty rules. This just comes to mind just while we're doing this here. So I might know that I need news, but I might not need them right now. So I'll just set them up and leave them empty, empty brackets, and then I'll come back to them at a later point in time. You can certainly do that if you want. But for this exercise, I know that I need these two guys. So let's go and set up our article first. So go ahead and drop your cursor into the curly brackets for our article element or our redefined element. And this guy, we're going to set his width. And then I'm going to use 95%, followed by a semicolon. And once again, I want a gap of space on his outside left edge. So margin hyphen left, and I'm going to use 10 pixels for my value, at least for now. And then the actual news item itself, again, you can go and check out the HTML. This is a div that's going to contain the actual news item. I want to apply a little bit of space on his bottom outside edge. So I'm going to say margin hyphen bottom, full colon space, and I'm going to try 20 pixels. All right, there we go, something like that. That's it. That's all there is to it. Go ahead and save up and head back to your browser and refresh, and there we go. That's what we wind up with, something like this. Perfect. And again, he's going to scale because we set his width to 95%. So 95% of 95%, if that makes sense. So these guys, the width on these guys is 95% of the master div, and the master div is 95%. So once again, I will allow you to sit back and contemplate that a little bit. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and finish off the low-resolution wireframe by fixing the space below our footer.